Are you struggling to keep up with the demands of having a YouTube channel, especially one that is quite successful, and you don't know how to manage everything? You're probably wearing all of the hats right now if that is the case. Have you ever considered trying to hire someone or outsource one of those tasks, but maybe you don't know where to start? In this video, I'm sharing you some of my top tips to make sure you know how to hire and train new team members so that you can create your dream team. So here at Subscribers to Sales, as you've probably seen, we love to talk about being able to work so much less by outsourcing and hiring people onto a team. It makes so much more time for you as the creator to step back a little bit and be able to focus on either more time for yourself and your family, more time to travel, or even if that's more time to study if you want to go back to school for whatever reason, or even if you want to just focus on making bigger money moves. These are all things that are going to be so much more rewarding to yourself. By taking those mundane tasks that you have to do just to keep your YouTube channel afloat, you can pass them on to someone else, making sure that they know how to do everything so that your channel is scaling while maybe you're sipping margaritas on the beach somewhere. That is what we are projecting for you. That is what we want for you. And this is how you're going to do it, by creating a team. So the first thing you need to do before you even start looking at who you can hire, where to hire, all of those things, the first thing is to define the key responsibilities and their job description. You really need to figure out, okay, what are the tasks you do right now? Maybe that's customer service stuff, looking at emails, maybe replying to emails, replying to DMs, maybe doing chargebacks, being able to look at your PayPal account, all those little things. Okay, write out all of those responsibilities, figure out exactly how often you need to do them, so that gives you a better time of if you need to hire someone part-time or full-time, figure out how long it takes you to do these tasks, figure out all of the little things in between. There's gonna be details in there that you miss. It's gonna be something you have to look over a few times, but write everything down, put it, and start creating an SOP. This is going to be extremely beneficial for later on. So as you are deciding, okay, this is what I need from them, it takes about this much time, blah, 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 blah. Okay, and then write your SOPs. The SOPs are standard operations procedures. And so what you need to do is just follow along. Be like, okay, this is how I'm doing this is how I'm doing this. Step 1 is this, step 2, step 3, step 4, etc. A really easy way to do this is just to record looms of yourself doing it already. That way you kind of kill two birds with one stone, and then you can at least have it organized into an SOP file, and then when you do hire someone, you can just show them the videos. If they're like, hey, I don't know how to respond to this person, okay, you have a video for that. So that's the idea, so that everything is laid out very clearly so that when they ask you questions, you can just redirect them to the SOP.
And by the way, I'm speaking to those established YouTubers right now. If you are feeling completely overwhelmed and burnt out by the demands of your YouTube channel and the business that you have, I invite you to check out and download our 6-step blueprint that teaches you how to manage and scale your 6-figure thriving YouTube business in just half the time. Now, in this blueprint, I break down so many things, including how to work on your business so you can step into those CEO creator shoes, our signature YouTube workflow, and what it takes to really streamline your business and to work way less. Go ahead and check that out. It'll be the first link in the description below.
Also, when it comes to defining what those responsibilities are going to be, also define expectations. Making sure you are very clear on what you expect from them, whether that is you expect them to work 5 hours per week, maybe you expect them to work 20 hours per week, and in those hours very clearly define exactly what they need to be doing each week. So that way, when you present that to them, they know exactly what you need, and there's not so many questions. It's not lost in miscommunication, it's very clearly laid out. So before we go to the next step, you really want to make sure you do this procedure for every single job you think you need to hire. So if that's going to be for editing, if that's going to be for customer service, for operations, marketing, all of those things, you really want to make sure that that's very clearly laid out before you go to the next step. And the next step is finding the right people for your team. How do you do it? So one strong point is to really first figure out, okay, where do you want to look for these people? They can be at so many different places. They can be on social media, LinkedIn, job boards, or personal networking. That's really great to do too. Actually, I started working with Marissa because I randomly met her here in Peru once. You never know what can happen. And then once you figure out, okay, where you're gonna start looking for people, then you should really consider the quality and skills that you're looking for. Maybe you don't really want to work with someone who's so serious. Maybe you want someone more lighthearted, more chippy. Maybe you want someone who is more serious in serious situations, or maybe you need someone who's a really strong talker, who has really strong communication skills, who's someone more extroverted, or maybe you want someone more introverted. Like this is the time to figure out exactly what kind of person you're looking for, because once you start hiring or once you start interviewing, those are going to be the qualities that you're looking for right off the bat as a first impression. That's going to help guide you to find the correct people for your team. And then once you have that figured out, then start looking around. Start making posts about job hires and that you're hiring right now. And then as the applications come in, of course it's going to be quite tedious, but you need to go through them and find who are going to be the best people for your team. I know this can be a really daunting situation, and so honestly, just be flexible. Be very flexible, knowing that maybe the first couple months are going to be a little rough. Don't expect the worst, but don't expect the best. Once you start interviewing them and then you figure out, okay, I have found someone, then you can go to the next step, training them. So you really want to make sure you train them. Now, one of the first expectations you should lay out once you've hired someone, though, is that maybe there's going to be a 30-day probation period or maybe a 2-month probation period. And that is just to say, if maybe you find that they're not really learning as quickly as you want them to. That's happened here at Team Marissa Romero, a couple times. Sometimes we think, okay, this is going to be the perfect fit. And then when we start working with them, it's like, oh no, this isn't the perfect fit. And so something has to change. And so having that maybe 30-day or 60-day probation period, and that's very clearly outlined to them, then you can say, okay, so we can try to work together, but if after this probation period it's not going well, then you can let them go and no hard feelings. That's just how it is. You set that clear expectation at the beginning and then you are good to go. But while training them in your responsibilities, maybe if you already have other team members, then just maybe you can have one of them train them for you. If not, if you are solopreneur up until this point, and that's okay, then really make sure you spend the time to talk with them and be able to train them, maybe 3 or 4 hours for, 3-4 days, and then let them try it on their own. If it's for customer service, especially making sure that they're responding to emails the way you want them to, then it's completely okay to say, okay, in the SOPs that we talked about before, these are how we respond to certain emails. Maybe that is how to respond to a collaboration email. What's the tone? What's the voice? What is the information included? That should all be in an SOP already. But just to make sure that they really understand, then you can tell them, okay, I want you to do the emails, but only respond as a draft. Do not let them send it yet. Because then maybe later on in the day you can quickly check to make sure it's exactly how you would want them to respond, give them feedback, and then you can send them off yourself. And then just try to do that for maybe a week or so until they really have a good handle on exactly how you want to respond to emails, because that's the point. You want your emails to sound like they're coming from you, so that person that you've hired needs to have your voice. Other things that you should really focus on as you're training them is not only set the expectations that we talked about before, let them know what your goals are, but then also let them know where you see them in the future if you can already project that. Help them really understand your brand. So there's multiple ways you can do that. With your channel, for example, you can say, watch some of these videos that I do, make them understand who you are talking to in your videos, make them understand your color brands, your fonts, how you like to write things. With Marissa, it's very specific. She likes some bold, she likes some plains, she likes a lot of blues, a little bit of red. Those are all things that are your brand. So whoever you hire has to be completely on board with that and know it and understand it exactly like you do. And also lastly, as you're hiring them, encourage them to ask questions, encourage them to write feedback. all of those things. Those are going to help you later on if you need to hire again, so that those questions are kind of already answered. It's going to be a long process to finally get to a point where nobody asks any questions, but making sure that you start recording the questions that they have so that you know to include it in your SOPs or to add it somewhere that's visible so that it's very clear cut for the next person. All right, the next thing to do is to really make sure you've established a strong communication system with your team. Making sure that your team members understand how you schedule things. If you want to have a team meeting, maybe that's only every Tuesday of the month. Maybe that's the last Tuesday of the month. Making sure that you have very clear communication with them so that they know when they're able to talk to you. So maybe setting those boundaries. I'm only able to talk in the morning or only in the afternoon, or you'll hear from me in 2 hours, like those kinds of things, so that they know when they can expect to hear from you. And make sure you really utilize communication tools like Slack, like Discord, like Zoom, all those things where you can communicate with your team all day, every day, and it'll be fine. All right, and the last step as you are hiring and looking for team members, once you already have them on board, they're kind of getting the flow of things. Make sure that when you are having team meetings or when you're talking to them, ask them how they're doing. Make sure that you're communicating with them, checking in with them so that they feel supported by you. It's one thing to just throw them the SOPs and tell them to figure it out, but you really want to check in with them to make sure everything is clear so that they're not just doing things blindly and maybe they actually do have questions but they're nervous to ask you. Make sure that you are an open book for them so that they feel comfortable around you. It can be really isolating having a remote type of situation. So make them feel included. If you're having team meetings, ask them questions, ask them what they think. Like, it'll really set the tone and it's gonna make them feel really welcomed in your team. All right, now, if you are wondering about how to manage your remote team and you have no idea where to start, then no worries, I made an entire video about it just over here. Are you a business owner who has a remote team? Or maybe you don't have a remote team just yet, but you want to build your team, your dream team, but you just don't know